Located on the south coast of New South Wales, on 2,000 acres of pristine countryside, Willinga Park is the Southern Hemisphere's leading equestrian centre and home to some of Australia's best riders and performance horses. Inspired by the vision and passion of businessman Terry Snow, Willinga Park combines stunning architecture and the latest in equine technology to create a world-class visitor experience.
We came here, my wife came here as a young lady, and then when we got married, I built a place down here, and I bought a block of land to park a helicopter on, and this is it. But of course, it's very much extended since then. We started off with 100 acres, and we've got now 2,300 acres, and it's all pretty much improved as either a cattle property or as an equine competition facility.
Willinga Park is his legacy, it's his gift to the equestrian world, but not just the equestrian world, but for the township of Borley Point, bringing people from Canberra and Sydney to experience the South Coast. So this will be a huge attraction for years to come for the coast.
Terry's vision towards facilities, and in particular for the horses, is sort of somewhere which I've never seen anywhere in the world.
Everything needs to be the best of the best, world class, doesn't go for less than that. And his eye for detail is just amazing. I'm always amazed how quickly he notices things.
When Terry has a project in mind, let's just build it, get it done, and then get on to the next one. He's trying to achieve excellence, he's trying to achieve the best equestrian centre in the world. And it's not just the equestrian, but it's the gardens, it's the architecture, we've got the sculptures.
He comes in and he points, get that done, get that done. What are you doing there, he'll say, and you explain to him, and that's how it generally works.
It's a full package.
Equal doses of money and passion and time, and talented staff to actually do what we've done.
Terry's vision has been incredible, and as staff we've all come on the journey, and it's an incredible place to work.
He's so passionate about it, and he gets us all going, and he brings us on for the journey.
So amazing to work for a person that has such a passion for the architectural design, the horses, everything what he works on, he's got a passion for.
You can't not help love working with him. He is infectious, and you see that in all of our staff. He certainly has the drive, and he brings that out in staff.
He treats you guys as well as he treats the horses?
He probably treats the horses better, but just depends who you are.
He does love animals of all types. He loves dogs as well, so his horses and his dogs, they're his pals, they're his mates.
Beyond its beautiful gardens and stylish architecture, Willinga Park offers world-class facilities for both horses and visitors alike.
Where it's located, you wouldn't think there'd be an equine centre of this calibre on the south coast beside the beach. It just doesn't seem right, but it fits in here, and it's just a lovely place to work and a lovely place to come through the front gate every morning, and yeah, it's just unbelievable.
It's a beautiful world-class facility. It's got the best of everything. It's got the beautiful architectural design buildings, gardens, and of course the equestrian part is absolutely amazing. It's the best of the best.
I know from everyone that comes through the gates that this is world-class, and that has been Terry's vision the whole way through.
There's no other venue like it anywhere in Australia that I've seen, and he's just gone above and beyond to make it work and make it a spectacle, and he's done that.
Pretty unique place. There's not many places like this in Australia or the world, I don't think.
Just the fact that there's horses, cattle, farming, all of that happening within, and you can hear the beach. It's a credit to him what he's done there.
When you drive through the gate, just the detail in the architecture and the buildings, and you could be anywhere in the world and you just go, wow, this is at Willinga Park.
People are absolutely amazed when they drive through that gate, and then they just want to come back and come back.
A big part of Terry Snow's vision was to create a one-stop shop equine facility for all types of horses.
He has a love for all types of horses, and you can see that across the property. We have thoroughbreds to dressage, warm bloods, we've got stock horses. So yeah, they're pretty incredible beasts, but yes, he does love horses.
We've got camp drafting here, we have show jumping, we've got the dressage as well, and then eventing will be in November.
We have a number of facilities to sort of cater for thoroughbreds, racehorses, broodmares, the same for the camp drafting and sport horses. We've got very dedicated sort of areas with high-end sort of equipment to sort of achieve sort of the best possible results. At the moment, these horses are just sort of more or less doing their kilometers, sort of maintain their fitness. They sort of stay at the right weight. You need to have a really sort of professional view if you want to pick the big ones.
There are lots of equestrian centres in Australia, but Willinga Park has something that sets it apart, and I think it's because across all the disciplines and from the camp drafting to the dressage, everyone really has the goal of producing top quality results, and you can see in the quality of the facilities here.
What's going on here as is sort of care for the horses, the facilities, practicality, safety, just sort of a happy place. I think you can't find a happy place for a horse to be a horse, and sort of I think within our vision we think that's important to sort of get the best out of the horses really. And
now we have 6 dressage arenas, show jump arena. We're just completing an eventing course. We've got accommodation facilities for spectators, officials. We've provided parking for horses and stables and good training facilities. We have a treadmill that's a water treadmill, so they walk in water. Round yards, we've got a swimming pool, as well as all these beautiful arenas.
What we're looking at now, we've got a 1,000-seat grandstand for show jumping. It's the biggest Otto arena in the Southern Hemisphere. So it's a big sand arena with the liner underneath. We've got a 500 kilowatt solar system, 2,000 solar panels, which could run a small city. So even the solar system is one of the biggest in Australia. We've got 36 flash stables down there, which, you know, copper all around them, got the ceiling, got the bamboo on the ceilings, and just, they're not just your ordinary stables. So.
It's amazing facilities down the stables, Terry. I mean, we were saying we haven't stayed in hotels, not as good as those things. So it's just an amazing.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether you noticed the very heavy cushioning, and so they don't get leg tired.
They look like very happy horses.
Yeah, they are.
And we've been lucky, we've worked with a builder, Construction Control, who've been able to deliver our dream. But I've had the staff to carry me along on all this, and it's been a terrific result.
And no one would know more about the facilities than elite dressage competitor and Willinga Park resident Jaden Brown.
I don't think you could get a better facility than Willinga Park. I moved here just over a year ago, and I don't think I've been so lucky to train my horses in a place like this.
He's one of the top riders in Australia at the moment, and hopefully he's going to make us proud and go to the Olympics in the next few years. He loves the facilities, and don't we all?
Yeah, this is definitely as good as it gets. Particularly in Australia, you wouldn't find a better quality facility than here, and we're just lucky that this is our home as well, so we're very lucky to train and work here. Good boy. Oh, this is Quincy. He's a 7-year-old, so he's quite a young horse. So he's just coming up to that top level, and today we're just putting him through his paces a little bit. I spend from about 7:30 every morning until 4:30 each afternoon in the saddle, and I've got about 12 horses in work here. They're all very different, but they all at varying stages of their training.
We've had many dressage judges from all over the world, been everywhere, and they reckon this place is the best they've ever been to.
Everyone's excited when they see one of the Willinga Park horses going out and doing well, and when we have events here, it's really nice to welcome outside people into the centre and see them enjoy it as well.
Beyond its superb facilities, Willinga Park combines spectacular gardens with modern sculptures to create an unforgettable experience.
Like a lot of people come here not just for the horse events, they come here and watch the horse events for a little bit and then off they go, and through the gardens, look at the architecture and the sculptures. We've got over 35 sculptures here on site.
We want people to come here and have an outdoor experience. We have about 6 acres of beautiful gardens you can walk through, and there's water and pools.
The place just keeps growing, and I'll get a phone call from Terry saying, listen, I've just bought another sculpture and we're not sure where we're going to put it. We've moved them around a few times.
He's got a keen eye for art, and Jeanette Snow, his wife, is heavily involved in picking those artworks as well.
We encourage people to come here, have a look about, relax in a lovely countryside and engage with the landscape and gardens.
To supplement the equine facilities, Willinga Park also offers a state-of-the-art veterinary service, headed by Dr. Eric Clowie.
I'm the veterinary surgeon at Willinga Park, so I'm in charge of more or less all the horses which have veterinary issues. I think all up we've got around 140 horses here, I think, and fortunately they don't all have a problem, but we're sort of proactive rather than reactive and try to avoid any major issues, but unfortunately horses are horses. It's my job to make sure they stay sound and keep them on the road. Well, this is what's called an aqua walker. This is sort of more an exercise tool where we can sort of increase the resistance. So if we feel that some of the horses are maybe a bit sluggish or don't get sort of the best out of just being on the normal walker, we can sort of put them in here. We can raise the water level and sort of make it harder or easier for the horse to sort of walk. But even more important, it's a really good rehab tool. Like if we have horses with tendon injuries or joint issues and we want to bring those horses back into the sport, if it's thoroughbreds or dressage horses, show jumpers, and in this case, cam drafting mare. In Willinga, we sort of see a number of industries come together. One of the things we're really big on here is breeding.
Now, we're just starting our equine veterinary hospital, and that is truly going to be amazing.
With embryo transplants, he's probably the best in Australia, even overseas.
Well, here we're at the start of the build of an equine hospital, which is going to be absolutely state-of-the-art. Of course, when you bring a lot of horses together, there's always going to be sort of the chance on injuries and accidents. So a state-of-the-art equine hospital is just a logical next step. With Terry's vision and Jeanette's vision, this has been picked as the location because we're more or less in the heart of Willinga Park here. So this is, I think, where everything comes together. What we want to do here is really sort of provide sort of the best veterinary facility and services sort of in Australia. One of the sort of really exciting projects we are already sort of putting the foundation on is that we're going to put a IVF lab or an ICSI lab sort of here, which will sort of allow us to sort of to get the best genetics from horses all over Australia. And I think that's sort of what's going to be our market, is not only local, but I think people will come to here to sort of bring their mares, not only sort of because they're the best, but mares which have a difficult fertility history. And we think here we can sort of still get a satisfactory result for them.
Nestled in lush fauna, Willinga Park also has a distinguished conference centre that also includes beautifully appointed on-site accommodation.
As soon as you drive through the gates, you get that experience. You just drive through and you get to your pavilion, it's beautiful, and then there is so much more to it. So we've got beautiful gardens, we've got, of course, the horses on site, and then the sculptures as well. And when people then arrive and get into the conference space, with the catering is top class as well. We've got 16 two-bedroom pavilions and 2 4-bedroom pavilions, which adds up to 40 rooms. They're beautiful pavilions and they're very comfortable, looking over the paddocks and with the heating swimming pool, barbecue area, and beautiful facilities.
And they're opened up when we have conferences and events, and so we actually have a lot of overnight conferences, retreats to get together and stay overnight and enjoy this amazing facility.
With a special love for camp drafting, Terry Snow's vision is to make Willinga Park a camp drafting sanctuary for competitors and breeders.
I wanted to build an equine competition facility, first of all for Australian cattle, horses, for camp drafting horses, because I bred camp drafting horses, and it struck me that I should have a camp draft facility for them.
What he's done is unbelievable. You know, there's nothing like that in Australia anywhere. So, full credit to him. He's really set a standard, and it's a great venue. And you know, if it's not working, he'll change it and fix it. That makes it even better. You know,
it's a beautiful place. It's a full credit to Terry. Found it like a privilege to be here. You know, I really am. I'll nearly get emotional.
Gate. Well, I've only been to a few drafts over the years and it's nothing like this. Yeah, it's normally just a set of yards in a paddock and a Radbury Hodel ploughed arena. Yeah, this is pretty impressive.
Camp drafting is one of the fastest growing sports in Australia, and Terry's goal is to make Willinga Park the spiritual home of the sport.
It's a very, very popular sport. It's full of action. There's always something going on.
It's always been popular. It's the stockman's sport. And so people who work away by themselves week in, week out, month in, month out, they actually get a chance to come together and socialise and compare their horses and compare their skills. It's a big social thing. I think it's more social than competitive.
Well, I've got 3 kids and they've all drafted and showed, and it was a big family thing for me. And that's what we loved about it the most.
It's great to see generations of riders come through, so it's such a great family event.
It's a real unique Australian sport, you know. There's only a couple of true Australian sports, and this is one of them.
And as if to reinforce his love for camp drafting, Terry has now introduced Australia's most prestigious event, the Volkswagen World Championship Gold Buckle Camp Draft.
We have made this the centre of camp drafting, really. We will have the biggest camp draft here in Australia by no doubt. Because of the prize money plus gold buckle, we filled all our nominations up in about a day and a half.
This year's going to be our biggest and best, and you know, we've got live TV. We're going to have over 430 competitors this year.
All the cowboys have got these big buckles. They can hardly do their shoes up, they're so big. We call this the Gold Buckle Camp Draft. Every cowboy loves their buckles, and this is one to covet, and we're very proud of it.
The event is the best and biggest of its kind in Australia, and it brings people from everywhere, but it's really great for the locals as well. We'll be expecting about 6,000 people across the 3 days.
I think the calibre of competitors, the calibre of facilities, hopefully the quality of the cattle, but the fact that the biggest names want to go there and they want to win it, I think this makes it special.
Terry's made Willinga something that everyone wants to win. He's set a standard, so it's great, and if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. So they all go to Willinga, so that's where you've got to go.
And to host a world-class camp draft, you also need the best cattle to work with.
Yeah, we've got about 1,000 acres here with the cattle side of things, and then there's about 400 acres down the front with the horses. Always plenty to do.
We run an enormous amount of cattle here, Also at Murrumbateman, all our cattle are brought down from Murrumbateman to compete here at the camp draft.
As we buy them, they come back to Murrumbateman, get worked with horses and dogs in a really calm manner, and when they come here they should be ready to go.
My main role is to assemble the cattle for the Gold Buckle camp draft, drench them, clean them up, show them what a horse looks like.
Ideally, you want cattle that are used to horses and dogs. You know, that makes it a lot easier. You get cattle that haven't, you know, they're being chased by motorbikes all the time, or they send them mad, you know. Whereas you get cattle that have been handled with horses and dogs, they're a lot quieter, and it's easier on the cattle and it's easier on the horses.
Terry's preference is the Poll Herefords. This year we've brought 1,800 Poll Hereford steers just for the draft, and not many camp drafts have that one line of cattle. You talk to a lot of people at drafts, and if there's a Hereford in the yard, they like to take it.
This will be a big part of your legacy?
Yeah, I hope so. It's something I'm very proud of, and you come here and see the people enjoy it, and you think, wow, this is fun putting this on for these people. And they don't see facilities like this as a general rule, and they have a ball.
I love nothing more than working at events and seeing the expression on people's faces. They're like, oh, this is amazing, I've never seen anything like it. And we get a real buzz out of that too, and I know Terry does. And everyone feels welcomed when they're here.
No place in the world where you can sort of marry so many sort of high-end technology and facilities together. It's absolutely fantastic.
Definitely the place to come and see if you're into horses, and even with the gardens and the sculptures, there's a lot for people that aren't so into horses. So I know a lot of people that come to our events and you know, bring their kids or husband, and there's something for everyone.
You can hear it by word of mouth, but you've got to experience it yourself, because words can't describe it until you get through that gate, and just the scale of it.
People just hear Willinga Park and they start looking it up, but the photos don't do justice. You have to be here to experience it.